everybody's going to win because you've got this easy money. You're going to get a rate cut, going to get quantitative tightening probably stopping. You'll get another rate cut on December 10th. You'll probably get another one to start next year in January. And then you're going to get a new Fed chairman in May that's going to want even more rate cuts.
The Federal Reserve is literally about to release the cryptocurrency bulls. Most people have no idea that this is about to happen. We're about to enter into a period of insane wealth creation. And in this video, I will explain everything you need to know so you can make the best decisions in crypto. If you're interested in making money in the cryptocurrency space, subscribe to Altcoin Daily, join our team. This is not hype. This is very real. In less than 24 hours, the Fed will make an announcement about the newest rate cut, and this is only the start. Make sure you're prepared for initial volatility day of course. But over time, I expect to see price grind up because, and again, most people don't know this, the rate cuts will continue to happen again in December, again in Q1 of 2026. And then Jerome Powell's term will be over. He'll be finished, and Trump will bring in somebody else who will cut rates even further and probably get the US close to 0% interest rates in 2026. So ask your friends about Bitcoin right now. A lot of people think Bitcoin's about to go like this. I actually think Bitcoin's more likely to do something like this. There are a few different catalysts I need to put on your radar today, including a 90-second explanation of why Ethereum is in a supercycle this time. So smash the like button, make sure you watch today's whole video, and let's start here with the Fed news. What the Fed is about to do. We've seen this playbook before. We are actually very familiar and have a very strong idea about what's about to happen. Here, Wall Street veteran and investing expert Dan Niles explains what this new Fed rate cut cycle plus quantitative easing means for crypto and the stock market. Basically, we're about to enter a period where everybody wins. And there will be a huge hangover afterwards, after this happens. But before we get to the hangover, we're about to enter a period of huge upside. Listen.
Everybody's going to win because you've got this easy money. You're going to get a rate cut, going to get quantitative tightening probably stopping. You'll get another rate cut on December 10th. You'll probably get another one to start next year in January. And then you're going to get a new Fed chairman in May that's going to want even more rate cuts. Right? So we've been through this scenario before in 2021. Inflation went from 1.4% to 7%, and the S&P was up 27%. And so you're in that same exact environment where everybody's going to win, enjoy the party as long as it lasts, and then prepare for a hangover sometime late next year.
Right. I was just looking at the last time the Fed cut, Dan, with inflation at these levels, October 08. Right. So how much are you worried about the other side of that mountain, as Tepper might say?
Oh, the other side of that mountain is going to be horrific. I mean, I believe that sometime late next year, you end up with a 30 to 50% correction in a lot of these AI-related names. But it doesn't mean, Carl, that between now and then, these stocks can't go up another 25, 50% or more, because you've seen this same picture show in the late 90s. And back then, the Fed was actually raising rates, don't forget. And the market still ripped. NASDAQ was up 86% in 1999, and then it started 2000 up 24% in just over 2 months. Obviously, the hangover on the other side was terrible, but you made a lot of money just sort of staying with it as long as the government kept screwing up and making, as long as you had investors believing everybody's going to win.
Gold has topped. Its all-time high is in. Gold is in a correction phase right now. And this brings us to the number 2 reason why Bitcoin's about to go on an insane run. Now, gold has been rallying in general for the past couple years because it's the debasement trade. The US dollar and global currencies are getting devalued all around the world. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, and gold has had a lot of success, a lot of demand because of that. Now, everybody knows gold topped a week or two ago, But what people don't realize is that now it is very, very likely that gold is in the corrective phase of its cycle. The top is in, bullish on gold long term, but gold goes lower before it goes higher. A lot of people don't realize this yet, but just assume for a second that we're right about this. Gold has topped. What does that mean for Bitcoin? Now, past performance doesn't necessarily indicate future results, but let's just take a look at the last time gold went on a major rally and then clearly topped and corrected. What happened? Bitcoin began a huge rally. Gold leads, Bitcoin follows. So because gold is now here, actually, I think Bitcoin's right here, actually. Ha 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 ha, sacre bleu. Reason number 3 why you need to start getting very bullish on Bitcoin. Did you know that in France right now, their Congress, their parliament, is debating a bill, and a bill is going through their governmental process where if it gets enacted, the government of France would buy up 420 Bitcoin, about 2% of the supply. They're debating whether they're going to buy 2% of the Bitcoin supply right now. Incredibly interesting. So I liked Matt Hogan, the CIO of Bitwise. I like what he said here. Things the market is underestimating. 1, the likelihood that sovereigns, nations, buy Bitcoin in size in the next few years. I think this is not priced in. This is very likely. We know that the US is going to do this. We know that the US is going to announce a Bitcoin buy sometime in the future. We know this.
The Strategic Bitcoin Reserve has been signed into law through executive order. There's some infrastructure that's required in order to get things set up properly. And so I'm still very confident that the US government is going to be keenly interested on moving expeditiously on budget neutral ways to accumulate. So I'd tell people just to, keep their eyes and ears open for that news that eventually I'm sure will come. But Patrick's working on that, as I can imagine. The last time that we've been truly able to speak on digital asset issues was the day before I left. But I'm very confident in his abilities to perform and deliver for the industry. And look, the president obviously has been a steadfast leader in the space. He's made it vehemently clear that this is a major priority for him. And that includes the SBR. And then we also have the Digital Assets National Stockpile as well, which I think was really just our attempt to give credence to the other ecosystems and what's being built over there. We want to welcome innovation here in the US, and we want to make sure those other ecosystems continue to thrive and grow.
We know another thing that the market is underestimating, the likelihood that the US passes the Clarity Act. This would be the biggest bipartisan bill for crypto that the US has ever passed. This is expected to pass probably in 2025 and get enacted in early 2026. Kevin O'Leary agrees, and he was actually telling Fox News, you have 90 days on this. Most people do not realize within 90 days, in about 90 days, the Clarity Act will pass, and this is the biggest bipartisan crypto legislation that will have ever passed in the US. Huge.
It's coming soon, but I'm really excited because the Clarity Act will be law probably in the next 90 days, further defining the law towards this vision I'm giving you.
We went through reasons 3 and 4, and now let's get to reason number 5, why crypto is about to rally hard. The speed at which tokenization and stablecoins will grow. Like, the world is not only getting more digital, it's getting put on crypto rails. The traditional financial system is being tokenized, and this is something that Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, has been saying for quite some time. It seems like every interview he does nowadays, he either brings up Bitcoin and crypto or they ask him about Bitcoin and crypto. So this is new. 12 trillion BlackRock CEO Larry Fink simply explains why demand for Bitcoin will continue to increase.
If you believe that countries are going to continue to debase their currency, if you believe that there's going to be global rise of insecurity, owning crypto assets or gold are assets of fear. You own these assets because you're frightened of the debasement of your assets. You're worried about your financial security. You're worried about your physical security, and between crypto assets and gold, they believe, there's a strong belief that is a good hedge against optimism. Okay?
Like I said, the adoption we're seeing in America and around the world is like no other cycle before it. Western Union, the world's largest money transfer business, to build stablecoins on Solana. Regardless how you feel about Western Union, this is huge for Solana, and it just kind of shows you, again, these traditional companies either need to close up shop or change and adopt, and they are adopting. Big for Solana. And finally, watch Tom Lee explain to somebody who's kind of like I don't know, he's not a Bitcoin maximalist, but Pomp came out like a year or two ago and said, hey, I only like Bitcoin and Solana. I sold all of my Ethereum. So watch Tom Lee explain how Ethereum is in a supercycle and how Ethereum gets to $21,000 per token. Look at Pomp's face. This was a good 90-second explanation. If you got value in today's video, support us by giving it a like and support us by sharing this video on your social media or with a friend. My name is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. 2025 is wrapping up strong, in my opinion, and 2026, the beginning of it, looks very bullish. So stay tuned, stay subscribed.
Ethereum we've been writing about is probably in a super cycle, similar to what happened to Wall Street in 1971. Because in 1971, the US withdrew from the gold standard. So the dollar became actually synthetic, completely synthetic. Mm-hmm. So Wall Street stepped in to make sure the dollar stayed the reserve currency. So they built futures, CDs, money markets, and it succeeded because within 10 years, even though the dollar was only 27% of GDP, it became 53% of central bank reserves and 80% of all financial market quotes. So the yen didn't win, the Deutsche Mark didn't win, or the French franc. In 2025, we're tokenizing more than just the dollar. The stablecoin is the breakout product, which is a tokenized dollar. But as you know, Larry Fink, Robinhood, they want to tokenize everything on the blockchain, and they're going to build it on a neutral public chain, which is right now, 70% of that is happening on Ethereum. So Ethereum is experiencing that same 1971 moment where Wall Street's rebuilding everything onto a blockchain, which we think it'll be Ethereum. Ethereum could recover its Bitcoin Ethereum ratios, 2021 highs. That would put Ethereum at around 21,000 per token. So it's I think an undervalued asset